Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my May book haul. There are a lot of books, let's just jump into it. As with most months, I've sorted these into categories. I have subscription boxes, I have review copies or free books that I've received, middle grade books and science fiction books. I think those are my main categories. I'm going to start with my subscription box books first because there've probably been videos that you guys have already seen where these books have come out. I have my 2 copies of Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I am waiting for my hardcover 3rd copy of this book to arrive, but one of these is going to one of my very good friends so that she can read and enjoy it. I have read this book already, so that is a tick on, you know, at least this collection of books for this month. I also have Finale by Stephanie Garber. Again, I've read this. This is the 3rd and final book in the Caraval series. It is a young adult fantasy series and I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the series overall. My favourite book is book 2, but this one was not bad. I have Nocturna by Maya Montaigne, and I haven't read this yet, but I'm hoping to get to it very soon. This is the Fairy Loot exclusive cover, so it's blue instead of red, and it has blue sprayed edges, and it sounds very, very interesting. It is YA fantasy, and that's about all I know about it. Now onto my review copies. I received Hive and Rogue by AJ Betts from Pan Macmillan. I am part of the blog tour for Rogue in a couple of weeks, so they sent me book 1 as well so that I could read the series. It is a duology. It is a Love Osway dystopian series and it was a lot of fun. I've read both of them. I'm looking forward to reviewing Rogue very soon. So thank you very much to Padmac for these copies. I also received a copy of Leadership Really Matters, Applying Innovation to the Educational Crisis Today by Maxine Driscoll. I met Maxine over the school holidays at a teacher meetup and I happened to win a prize while I was there and it was a copy of Maxine's book, so thank you very much to her for sending it to me. I'm looking forward to reading it very soon. I also received a copy of Kindred 12 Queer Lovers YA Stories. Again, I have read this. This is edited by Michael Earp and written by a whole host of really awesome Australian authors. I'm part of the blog tour for this in a couple of weeks' time, so you will see my review very shortly. So thank you to Walker Books and the AusYA bloggers group for this copy. And finally, I received a copy of While You Were Reading by Ali Berg and Michelle Kalis from Simon & Schuster. This was unsolicited and was sent to me for review, so I'm looking forward to reading this very soon, but I have also been asked to be part of a blog tour for this book, so I will probably hold off reading that for another week or so. But it's very exciting. I was not expecting this at all. I do still have to read the book Ninja, but I'm hopefully going to read that in the next week or so. Next I'll go on to my middle grade books. I found copies of 300, 400 and 500 Minutes of Danger by Jack Heath. These are Love Oz Kids sort of really action fast-paced books. I have read 400 and 500 Minutes of Danger. I haven't read the 300 book, so I'm going to read that very soon. Each collection features 10 short stories that take place over 30, 40 or 50 minutes. Hence the titles 300, 400 and 500 minutes. And the stories all start off as separate short stories about kids in really high intensity, high danger situations, and then eventually they actually sort of come together and you see the overarching story plot. So I'm looking forward to finally reading 300 Minutes of Danger and then taking all of these into school for some of my kids who like really high action books. I have The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. I actually have no idea what this book is about except that it was a Newbery winner. Yes, Newbery winner, and lots of people rave about it and I really wanted to try it and I finally saw it in a bookstore, so I grabbed it. Then I picked up Starfell, Willow Moss and the Lost Day by Dominique Valente. This book was total cover buy and I just like a good middle grade fantasy. They just tend to appeal to me more than adult fantasy, so I grabbed this one and it is a stunning, beautiful, striking cover. The last 8 books I actually picked up on the same day because one, I'm insane, but also because I was about to start report writing and I wanted something happy in my life. And so I actually went and bought a whole stack of books, and I bought these for a very specific reason, which I can't tell you guys about for a couple of months, but I wanted to grab them while they were on my mind and while I had the money to do it. I don't really know very much about any of them except that they are science fiction books. So just bear that in mind. I picked up 2 Star Wars books that I have not yet read. Star Wars Canto Bight, which I think, is this short? Yeah, this is a short story collection. The last Star Wars short story collection I read was From a Certain Point of View, which I really enjoyed. And I actually listened to the audiobook and it was fantastic because it had multiple narrators and I annotated it. So I'm going to find out if this has a audiobook with multiple narrators and I might read it that way. Sorry, I stand corrected. It is 4 novellas. That should be good. And Mira Grant, Sean and Maguire is one of them. So that'll be interesting to read something set in Star Wars universe since I'm sort of still trying to work out how consistent I am with her writing. I also picked up Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray, mostly because I love Claudia Gray, and I haven't really read too many of the books that are set in the sort of the prequel trilogy sort of universe. I don't tend to do that. I tend to stick to things that are from about Rogue One forward. But I'm very intrigued to read this one. I've heard some good things. I picked up The Book of Phoenix by Nnedi Okorafor. Don't know much about this except it's sci-fi and it's about a genetically enhanced or genetically grown woman. Rosewater by Tade Thompson. I've seen quite a few people show this book, but I haven't heard too much about it. But I know it is set in Nigeria, I believe, and I'm very interested to read a science fiction book set in Africa. Plus, this cover just appeals to me a lot. Infomancy by Malka Older. Again, just a science fiction book that I picked up. Again, this cover really appeals to me. I'm such a sucker for cover buys, guys. The City in the Middle of the Night by Charlie Jane Anders is actually a book that I heard about at the start of the year. I think it was on someone's most anticipated list, and I remember reading it and thinking it sounded really interesting. And it's about a planet that is sort of stuck, and half of it is like a frozen wasteland and the other side has endless sunlight, and it's sort of the dynamic between the two. And I'm very intrigued to read this at some point. Do You Dream of Terra 2 by Temi O is a young adult science fiction book, I believe, and it's about a team of adults and teenagers who are making their way to Terra 2, which is sort of like the Earth-like planet that has been discovered. And it's going to take them 23 years to get there. And they're all stuck together for that time, which sounds claustrophobic and terrifying and totally up my alley. And then the book that I'm most excited for, and the one that I don't know if I'm going to have the willpower to hold out on reading, is Exhalation by Ted Chiang. Ted Chiang's first collection of short stories, Stories of Your Life and Others, is one of my all-time favorite books. And this is his new collection. And I'm very confused by the Australian UK cover, but you know, whatever. It's still quite striking. I mean, I like a good text cover. I'm looking forward to reading some more short stories by him. He's very thought-provoking, very sort of challenging in the way that you think about things. So this should be a really, really fun read for me. I'm looking forward to it. So those are all the books that I picked up in May. And yes, it's a lot and it happens, guys. I've already read 6 of them, that's not bad. In the comments below, let me know if you have read any of these books and what your thoughts were on them, or if there are some that you think I should pick up relatively soon because you would like to see me review them. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you are having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.